Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Matchday 11 Tips Show. The UCL fantasy is cooking up, heating up even more. 3 match days to go. So, as always, in the tip show, we'll be talking about my team selection, how my team is looking so far, the best captain picks for the match day, my match predictions for both games this week, and also 2 questions of the week. We will be discussing Man City and also Inter Milan and AC Milan. First up, in terms of my team selection, already done a team selection video, already talked about what I'm trying to do. But as of now, I have made 2 transfers so far. That is bringing in Leao and bringing in Damian. Still 3 transfers to go, but I think it's more advisable to wait for the team news and all that, because you're going to get Real Madrid and Man City on the first day. Unless you're planning to bring in AC Milan and Inter Milan players, then you can just do it over the weekend, because we don't get their team news anyway. But for Real Madrid and Man City, we do get their team news. They are playing on the Tuesday. So if you're concerned about whether, let's say, Valverde or whoever is starting, or Modric or whoever is Camavinga starting at left back, will Grealish or Foden start, will Mahrez or Bernardo Silva start, all that. If you're thinking, if that is stressing you out, I think it's just better to wait for the team is to come out on Tuesday. But if you can't wait for Tuesday and if you're not around to make the transfer at that time, I mean, you can just wait for Man City to play a midweek and also over the weekend, and then you'll get a better idea of who got rested and who came on for a few minutes and who could start in that game. But for my team right now, Courtois, my goalkeeper and strikers, no problem. That one complete. The only issues I have is midfield and defense. So Courtois and Onana in goal. I've had Onana for quite a while, and for Courtois, I mean, it was between him and Ederson, but I decided to go for Courtois. In the last match day, I knew they were going to play each other, but I just decided to go for Courtois because he's been like goalkeeper of the Champions League the last couple of seasons. Defensively, I've gone for Damian, Theo Hernandez, Carvajal. As I said, I will be bringing in one defender. I think that's a good balance, having one defender from each team: AC Milan, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and Man City, in case all games and nil-nil, get a clean sheet point from all those. But especially the Real Madrid Man City game, I don't expect clean sheets at all. AC Milan, Inter Milan, one of them could get a clean sheet. You never know. And attacking returns, I mean, the likes of Carvajal, Theo Hernandez can get you attacking returns anytime, any day. Any day, anytime, any day, however you say it. Midfield-wise, Tonali, Vinicius, and Rodrigo. I had Rodrigo in the last match day when he scored a brace against Chelsea. Really, really happy with that one. He was my differential for the week. Vinicius, we know his talents as always. And Tonali's been in my team. He's not really done much, but I'll just keep him because just to have an AC Milan midfielder in the team. And then, as you can see, Mario and Kvaratskhelia on the bench, they've been both eliminated. We expected at least one of them to be in the semi-final, but that wasn't to be. The Milan teams had other ideas. So I will be taking out both of them and bringing in 2 new midfielders, 2 fresh midfielders, one from Man City and maybe another one from Inter Milan, or maybe even both from Man City, who knows. And then up front, Erling Haaland, machine, 50 goals this season already. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes with at least 55, 56, honestly. Benzema, Leao. Benzema has always been player of the Champions League last season, is player of the season. Leao as well, has been incredible recently. And for Haaland, as I said, he's just a machine. What an incredible first season that can be for him. Like, he can actually finish with like 60 goals and win 3 trophies in his first season. That would be absolutely incredible. That will be Ballon d'Or talk, by the way. That would be Ballon d'Or talk. But that is how my team is looking. 3 more transfers to come. I will have Ramani on the bench. I will not take him out because I don't want to. There's no need of taking a hit. I will have 14 players. I think that is enough. Even if you have like 13 players, I think that will be enough for this match day. But that is the team selection. Next up, let's talk about the captain picks. Who are the best captain picks for this match day? Now, the first day, Real Madrid are playing against Man City. Second day, AC Milan, Inter Milan. Now, you can make an argument for both. Especially Real Madrid, Man City. Man City have been conceding goals that they considered against Arsenal. Obviously, they considered against Bayern, obviously, as well. They considered against Fulham. I mean, especially in FPL, Ederson doesn't keep that many clean sheets. They usually tend to concede one. And Real Madrid themselves, they considered like a couple against Almeria, and I think they considered like 4 against Girona. So they do both concede goals, especially Real Madrid recently. They've been conceding more than 2 goals a lot. So that, you can make an argument for all the forward players, Vinicius, Haaland, Benzema, all of them. But I think Haaland would be a great captain choice. I'd actually lean towards the home team just because they're at home. But when they go to Man City, I will be captaining a Man City player. So I'll probably say I'll probably say Benzema because we've seen him do beats against Man City before. I mean, Rodrigo as well, Vinicius. We've seen them both all scoring against Man City. I think it was the last season when they played. But I will lean towards, if you were to give me a poll for all those three players, I'd probably say like Benzema maybe 40% and Vinicius and Haaland 30% each, because both teams concede goals. And as I said, Real Madrid have been conceding a lot. 4 against Girona, they conceded 2 at home against Almeria. So you can always go for Haaland. But I think whichever works out there, if you've gone for them, that will be huge for you. But there's also a chance that they could all score. It could end 3-3 and Haaland scores 2, Benzema scores 2, Vinicius scores an assist, and Grealish scores an assist. That can happen. So I think that is a very tough choice, but I'd lean towards Benzema also because he's on penalties. Haaland is on penalties as well, but you never know. Mahrez can take if he's on the pitch. I think Benzema is guaranteed, but I'm leaning towards Benzema just because he's at home. But when they play at Etihad, it's definitely going to be Erling Haaland if he's fit by then. Second day, Milan against Inter, AC Milan against Inter Milan, or Milan against Inter. Again, tough one. Defensively, both teams have been great this season. We'll talk about them later. But again, I'll be leaning towards the home team. If there's a home team, they both play at San Siro, but you know what I mean. AC Milan, Leao could be a great option. Theo Hernandez could be a great option. And for Inter Milan, I mean, unless you're going for like a goalkeeper or a defender, I mean, but on the second day, though, you can't really go for a defender or a goalkeeper. You'll be leaning towards the forward players. And the one I'm thinking about is really Rafa Leao, because he's the one who will probably play 80 plus minutes. The others, you never know. Lukaku, Dzeko could be rotated. Giroud will be subbed off probably. So that is tough. So there, I think it's going to be Rafa Leao in terms of captain picks. Let me know. Are you thinking any other players? Differentials, you could go for Grealish on the Tuesday, you could go for Rodrigo on the Tuesday if you prefer. On the Wednesday, you can even go for Giroud if you prefer. Those are the best differential captains. Next up, let's talk about my match predictions. What are my match predictions for this week? So I will go for, you know what? Before I even go to the match prediction, let me actually answer the question so that leads me on to the match predictions. And I will start with this question: best Man City midfielder for this week. So that is a tough one. Personally, I want to get De Bruyne into my team, but it's basically impossible because of the money. It will cost me the likes of Sheila like 5.9 million. So if I take him out, it's not going to be enough to get De Bruyne for like 10 million, despite having 3 million in the bank. So in terms of midfielders, I think Grealish will be the first one. I think he will play on the left side, so I think that is the best one. That is for me. But if you have enough money, De Bruyne is definitely the best, especially if they play the way they played against Arsenal, with De Bruyne getting into the box and playing in behind Haaland, which could happen if they want their midfield to be more solid and decide to play Rodri, Gundogan, and someone else in midfield and have De Bruyne pushing forward. That could happen. They might not decide. They might decide to, you know what, let's keep Mahrez and Bernardo Silva both on the bench. Let's go strong in midfield and then push De Bruyne up front to play with Grealish and obviously Haaland. That could happen. If they do that, De Bruyne is definitely the best. He can get you goals. He can get you maybe recovery points at the front and maybe assists as well. So De Bruyne is the best, and then followed by Grealish for me. Cheaper one, Rodri is not that bad. If you don't have any money to get in any other midfielder and you can only afford Rodri, I don't think he's the worst. He'll probably get a yellow card, but I mean recovery points. He can score a goal from nowhere. He can also get an assist from nowhere. He gets into the box for corners and free kicks. He can head in one, so you never know. Defensive double up on AC Milan or Inter Milan. I mean, this is very interesting. For right now, I currently have Onana and Damian, and I also have Theo Hernandez from AC Milan. Now, the thing with this fixture, I think from match day 5, AC Milan kept clean sheets all the way to the quarterfinal. They kept clean sheets against Salzburg, against Dinamo Zagreb, back-to-back, and then heading into the round of 16, they kept clean sheets home and away against Tottenham, and also kept a clean sheet at away at home against Napoli. So those are 5 clean sheets in a row for AC Milan. So if you had like a triple up on their defense through all that, that would have been massive for you. But I don't think people expected them to keep clean sheets all those games. And Inter Milan on the other side themselves, I mean, they kept clean sheets home and away against FC Porto in the round of 16. They also kept a clean sheet. I think in the last game of the group stage, or I think Onana's kept like 5 or something clean sheets in the Champions League this season. So both teams do usually keep clean sheets, especially in the Champions League. So you can argue for both of them. And but I do fancy AC Milan to win this tie, so I will go for AC Milan. I will go for AC Milan for this week, but the next game I will go for Inter Milan. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if both games end 0-0. I can't really say home and away because they play in the same stadium basically, unless the fans AC Milan have more fans in the stadium, but I will just lean to AC Milan 52% and Inter Milan 48%. That is a very tricky one. But how about you have two defenders from both teams? That is what I will do. I will that is what I might end up with. I already have two Inter Milan defenders. Theo Hernandez from AC Milan. Tomori is not a bad option as well if you want to go for an AC Milan defender. I might end up with that if I decide to take out a defender instead of a midfielder, or if I decide to go without a Man City defender for this first game against Real Madrid. But the best ones, Onana, Damian, DiMarco playing at the left side, Theo Hernandez and Tomori as well. So I think those are the best. Last up, the match predictions finally. So my match prediction for this one, I will go for Real Madrid 2, my Man City 2 in the first leg. I think it's going to be a very, very watchable game. It could actually have more goals. If I was to lean towards a winner, maybe Real Madrid to win it 3-2, but I do expect Man City to win at the Etihad, so that is a very difficult tie to predict, but I will go for 2-2 because Man City don't always keep clean sheets, and Real Madrid have been conceding a lot recently. It could be more goals than that, or depending on how they approach this game, they might both approach it like, you know what, let's keep it tight. AC Milan, Inter Milan, I am going to go for a 1-1 draw, so all four teams to score, no clean sheets there. But if I was to lean towards a game in terms of clean sheets, that would be Inter Milan and AC Milan. I don't think there will be clean sheets in Real Madrid, Man City. I mean, I said the same thing when Man City played Bayern, and that game ended up being 4-3-0 to Man City or something. So AC Milan, Inter Milan, I have gone for a 1-1 draw. So that is the fantasy tip show for match day 11. Gone through the team selection, the captain picks, the match predictions, and the questions of the week. Let me know who are you, which teams are you favoring more? Which teams do you have most players from? Personally, at the moment, I have 5 Real Madrid players, but that has been the case since the round of 16. But I will be bringing in more Man City players, more Inter Milan players. So let me know how that is looking for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.